What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be looking at this Badlands Monster fanny pack, or lumbar pack, whatever you want to call it, waist pack, and compare it to a couple other hunting waist packs that I have and discuss why you might want something like this. So this is the first piece of kit I've owned from Badlands. I've used this for about 3 seasons, tracking and still hunting up in the mountains. And I will say, after using this piece of kit, I would definitely not hesitate to use anything else from Badlands. It's really high quality. It's really well made. Very durable, very comfortable. And lumbar packs are tough. Finding one that adjusts perfect, fits perfect. I've used quite a few. And so far, this one is like my standard by how I judge other lumbar packs. This one's really well made. So spoiler alert, really like it, but we'll get into this a little bit. So this particular pack is the Monster Waist Pack by Badlands. It's 1,100 cubic inches, which is pretty big for a lumbar pack. So for me, I use this in place of a day pack or like a 24-hour bag. If I'm gonna go track whitetail or bear hunt or do something where I'm going to be pretty far from the truck and pretty deep in the woods and I want to have kit on me, but I don't necessarily plan on spending the night, I'll often carry this. The reason I carry this over a backpack, especially tracking, is you go through a lot of pretty thick brush, a lot of overhanging limbs. And backpacks have a tendency to get hung up. Having the top of your back free and all your kit on your waist, you're not getting caught up under branches, and you can move under trees and through thick brush pretty easy. So it's a lot more advantageous to carry this stuff around your waist rather than up higher in your chest when you're going to be busting brush. The other nice thing is, being a lumbar pack, most of the weight is on your waist, so it's putting it on your hips, which is generally what you're supposed to do with a heavy pack anyway, using a waist belt. But this thing's got a lot of support. So like I said, 1,100 cubic inches, pretty big. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. It's got a really nice Y suspension system, which these suspension systems can be a little tricky to get adjusted and sized properly. But once you get it sized up nice to a place where it's comfortable, it's usually pretty good to go as far as staying put. The way it adjusts is there's actually inside the pack, there's this little locking clip where you can take slack out or add slack as needed. And you can kind of tuck the excess in here. And that adjusts this main back strap right here. And then the 2 front straps are adjustable with some YKK buckles over here, some Fastex buckles rather. So the suspension system itself, very comfortable. Easiest way to adjust it, I find, get the waist and the pack sitting where you want it, adjust the waist how you want it, and then have another person either take the slack out for you to a point where it's comfortable, or just make little incremental adjustments and keep taking it on and off. But I usually just have my wife or somebody take the slack out for me, and once you adjust it, it's pretty good to tape off the straps and do what you need to do. So all the straps have these nice little elastic retention bands. They're okay. These ones work pretty well. They haven't worn out. I typically tape them on a lot of my pieces of kit. These I've left loose and just use the retainers because depending on layers, I tend to size up or size down the suspension system. The waist belt itself and like the lumbar support, super comfortable. Very, very thick padding, but it's vented very well, so it breathes nice. I don't find that it traps heat. I really don't sweat that much under here. I mean, when I'm going up mountains and stuff, obviously you're going to sweat a little bit, but it's not bad. It's much more breathable than a traditional fanny pack or something where the whole thing just sits on your back. This is vented, and it lets a lot of that heat escape, which is comfortable. The waist strap is not too cumbersome. pretty often. I've run a handgun under it, both semi-auto and like a single action revolver, and I've had no issues. I've also run it behind and just adjusted it around it. So it is workable if you plan on carrying something on your belt. Maybe it's not the most comfortable way to do it, but I have done it before and haven't found it to be a huge issue. But pretty straightforward how it connects. It's got these buckles in the front, quite a bit of adjustment in it, so it can fit a wide variety of waist sizes. I cinch it down pretty tight and then just loosen it back and forth to move the weight between my shoulders and my hips throughout the day once I'm getting tired. So that is pretty much the padding and whatnot. Keep going on some of the features. This top flap has this almost like a tent pole over the top of the flap, which is nice. It keeps a lot of structure in the pack. It looks a little weird unloaded and kind of sitting on the table right now, but I've found this to be a really good feature. It actually keeps the pack pretty rigid, and it keeps its shape, and it's very comfortable. It's almost like having a frame in a backpack, but it's in this little waist pack, which keeps everything nice and tight, which is nice. So you also have a little strap up top where you can strap something down and stow. There's a map pocket right up top. In here I usually keep maps, my hunting license, compass, things like that I need to get out that are relatively flat. The waist straps both have these nice side pockets. One thing I've noticed with this pack is these zippers are super high quality and very well thought out. The zipper pulls have silenced rubber that's oversized, so you can pull it when your hands are wet and you're wearing gloves, but it's also not like flopping around and making noise, and it won't break off. So very good thought out features there. Each end of the zipper is this reinforced rubberized material, and the zippers themselves are silenced and they don't hang up. So really, really well thought out features on the closures and everything. You can hear how quiet that is. If you go slow, it's pretty silent. The actual material for the pack itself is like a water resistant, I'm not sure what kind of material it is, but it's very, very quiet. It's not quite as quiet as wool or fleece. It's still got the tiniest bit of vinyl sound, but when branches whack it and whatnot, you don't hear it. It's a very similar material to like a soft shell kind of. It doesn't necessarily have the same waterproof qualities as a soft shell, but it's got that quiet sound, which is perfect for hunting. The pack itself, I believe you can get in a few different patterns. This is the one I got. It was on sale, and it works for me. I like it very much. So, going into the inside of the pack, there's one big main pocket on the inside, and just your regular kind of like bucket style pocket. In there I usually run an Nalgene with a nesting cup, first aid kit, a little extra warm weather clothing, my lunch for the day. I've run a like mess tin survival kit in there before with other things, but it's a very large main pocket. You can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. I'll try and roll in some pictures of what I've had it loaded out with, but so big main pocket, map pocket up top. This front pouch right here has these little loops where you can snap stuff to it with a carabiner or tie stuff in. Open it up, it's got a good bit of organization in here. It's retained on the side with netting so it doesn't just flop and drop all your stuff out. Again, this pocket expands out quite a bit, probably a good 3 inches wide. You can fit stuff in here, and it's pretty tall. There's a zippered pocket on the interior of the flap, and then a nice little pocket on the inside. So can fit quite a bit of stuff in there. On either side of this main pouch right here are these little Tiny utility pouches. Again, every pocket on here is retained with netting so they don't drop all your stuff out. Pretty good. I usually keep headlamp batteries, like iodine tabs and stuff like that in there. So mimicked on either side. We already touched on these waist pouches, really useful. And tucked in behind the pouch are your buckles and your adjustments for the suspension system. So pretty handy. On the bottom of the pack are these adjustable straps where you can stow like a raincoat or a ground cloth or something like that. So all in all, this pack has been really, really rugged, really robust, super comfortable. Like I said, I typically wear this for 10 hours a day, for a couple months at a time. And in the off season, I wear it on day hikes when I don't want to carry a pack. If it's really hot or whatever, I just want to wear a lumbar pack. I do wear this. I moved away from it this year because I wanted to try out some other gear, but so far this is still my favorite lumbar pack that I've used, and I think it's pretty hard to beat. I would like to get a Badlands, like a bigger 2-day pack or something after using this, because this gear was really good. I wouldn't hesitate to purchase this pack at all. MSRP is about $100 if you get them on sale. I think full price is like $160, and I'd say it's absolutely worth it. I've used several of like the Cabela's brand lumbar packs and some other cheaper companies, and they are not near as good as these Badlands packs. These are really, really good lumbar packs. So if you are curious about getting a waist pack for hunting or for hiking, if it's something that maybe you want to carry when you leave a base camp, if you're camping or backpacking, but you don't want to carry your whole pack, and maybe you just want to carry a day pack's worth of stuff, or you want something to keep in your truck, this is a perfect little pack to keep in your truck. Pretty often I'll keep like a day hiking loadout in here and just leave this in my truck in case I'm just driving around and I find a new piece of state land or something I want to check out. I can just grab this and throw it on so I have some equipment. But again, this is the Badlands Monster Fanny Pack. Really good pack. Highly recommend it. 5 stars on my end. And it is one of my favorite pieces of kit for hunting. So